My biological aunt showed up at my college dorm, claiming she needed to borrow my student ID for a family emergency. I handed it over without thinking. She said her wallet got stolen and she needed to pick up a prescription at the campus pharmacy. Made perfect sense. She'd driven 4 hours to visit me, seemed stressed, and I wanted to help. She promised she'd return it in an hour. That was on a Tuesday afternoon. By Wednesday, I'd completely forgotten about it. Thursday morning at 7 a.m., there was heavy knocking on my door. 2 campus police officers stood in the hallway with serious expressions. They asked if I could come down to the station to answer some questions about a withdrawal attempt on my scholarship account. I was half asleep, confused, still in my pajamas. What withdrawal? I haven't touched that money. The fund my late grandfather left me was locked until graduation, something like $50,000 for grad school or starting my career. The officers exchanged glances. They took me to campus security and showed me footage from the bursar's office. There was my aunt, clear as day, sitting at the desk with my student ID laid out in front of her. She had a folder full of documents and she was filling out withdrawal forms with confident pen strokes like she'd done this 100 times. The timestamp showed yesterday at 2 p.m., right during my marine biology lab when I was elbow deep in tide pool samples. The security officer explained she'd forged my signature on 6 different authorization forms. She claimed she was my designated representative picking up an emergency disbursement check because I was hospitalized and couldn't come in person. She had a whole story prepared, talking about a car accident and medical bills. But the bursar got suspicious fast. Standard procedure is to ask verification questions before releasing funds. What residence hall do you live in? My aunt said Westfield Hall without hesitation. We don't have a Westfield Hall on this campus. Never have. What's your major? She guessed business administration. Probably because that sounds generic and common. I'm studying marine biology, have been since freshman year. What's your student ID number? She stumbled, said she didn't have it memorized. That's why she brought the physical card. That's when the bursar knew something was off. Most students know their ID number by heart after using it constantly for years. She excused herself, said she needed to verify something with the registrar, and called security instead. They arrived within minutes. My aunt saw them coming through the glass doors and her whole demeanor changed. She grabbed my ID, shoved her papers back in the folder, and literally ran for the exit. Security caught her in the parking lot. She'd left my student ID behind on the desk in her panic. The officers told me this wasn't her first attempt. She'd done this before at 2 other colleges with 2 other relatives, both times getting caught before actually obtaining any money. One was her nephew in California. The other was a cousin in Ohio. She had a pattern of showing up, building quick rapport, borrowing identification, then attempting fraud. The detective assigned to my case found evidence she'd been planning this for months. She'd sent my roommate a friend request on Facebook back in August, before the semester even started. She'd asked casual questions in Messenger. How's your roommate doing? What's her schedule like? Does she keep her wallet in the dorm? My roommate thought she was just being a caring aunt checking in. My aunt had also called the financial aid office in September pretending to be my mother. She tried to get details about my scholarship fund, asked about withdrawal procedures and verification requirements. The office wouldn't give her information without proper authorization, but she learned enough to attempt the fraud. She'd researched campus maps online, studied building layouts, even practiced forging my signature based on documents she'd requested from me over the summer for what she claimed was family record keeping. The whole thing was calculated and deliberate. My roommate was devastated when she found out she'd accidentally helped. She kept apologizing, saying she should have been more careful about what she shared online. I told her it wasn't her fault. Some people see family as opportunity, not connection. The scholarship fund immediately added biometric verification and additional security protocols after this incident. My case went to court 6 weeks later, and my aunt got 18 months in county jail with a permanent fraud conviction that shows up on every background check for the rest of her life. My grandfather's money stayed exactly where he wanted it.